Let's shift focus to South Africa, the country where people are getting affected by a war far away from their homes. This as the Ukrainian ambassador to South Africa said that its citizens are being fooled into fighting for Russia in Ukraine. He urged South Africans not to get involved in the Russia-Ukraine war, adding that 17 men were tricked into joining mercenary forces.
Message to South African citizens right now is, please don't get fooled and don't get involved to fight in this barbaric, unfair, unjust war. This is not your war. It's not the war of any decent person on this planet. This is a war of an empire against a country that just wants to exist.
The Ukrainian envoy accused Russia of violating South Africa's laws by allegedly luring its people into the war, as the country's constitution doesn't allow its citizens to participate in armed conflicts or mercenary activities without prior government authorization.
They have been recruited in violation of South African law, which I would imagine would be something that South African government would like to talk about with the Russian government. And by the way, if it's true that some of South African politicians were involved, then it makes the whole situation even more precarious.
The remarks came after the South African government last week raised alarm bells over South Africans fighting in Russia. The Ramaphosa-led government said it had received distress calls from the men trapped in the war who were allegedly lured into joining mercenary forces. The presidency said that these men were aged between 20 and 39 and were promised lucrative employment contracts. These men were reportedly stuck in the ongoing fighting in the Donbas region of Ukraine and sought the government's help to bring them home. The South African authorities did not specify which side they were fighting for. However, local media reports and Kyiv stated that they were on the Russian side. The report also stated that the men were sent to Russia reportedly for security training by former President Jacob Zuma's MK party. Zuma was known to be a close ally of Moscow. Ramaphosa has ordered a probe into the recruitment of these South Africans. Earlier, South Africa launched an investigation into reports of young women being deceived into working in drone production factories on the pretext of well-paid jobs in the construction and hospitality industries. South Africa is not the only African nation which has reported that its citizens are fighting in the Russia-Ukraine war. Kenya has also raised concerns over reports of its citizens being lured by Russian recruiters to fight in the war against Ukraine. The government did not directly blame the Russian authorities. However, it warned against agents posing as legitimate recruiters, using unscrupulous measures to send Kenyans to the front line. Ukraine claims that more than 1,400 citizens from 36 African countries have been identified fighting on the Russian side. Now, these Africans fighting a war in a foreign land far away from their homes underline the prevalent economic issues in their homelands, which include poverty, high unemployment, and deep-rooted corruption, while the violence fueled by terror groups and ethnic differences add to their woes.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.